Wow. Thank you, choir. That was awesome. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rob Zimmerman, a member of your Board of Trustees. My pronouns are he and him. Welcome to Unitarian Universalist Church West here in Brookfield, Wisconsin. UUCW is a welcoming congregation to all people. In these times of increasingly hateful rhetoric, unfair legislation, and infringement on the civil rights of LGBTQ plus people, immigrants, religious minorities, and people of color, we are called to live our UU values of justice, equity, and pluralism and stand with those whose lives and livelihoods are threatened. We must make our church a sanctuary for all who seek it. We also recognize that this place, or the places you're watching from online, have long histories in which this is just the most recent chapter. I invite all of us to just take a moment right now to reflect on how this place came to be the way it is, who benefited, who was left out, and who was marginalized in the process. Taking time to understand the long history of our place And to reach out to groups and communities with whom we share it is the first step in acknowledging and repairing these relationships. If you're a newcomer here, I hope you picked up a flyer on the way in that tells you all about what to expect and how to connect. We'd love to have you fill out the welcome side of the blue sheet you received when you entered, and hope to see you at the newcomers table in the foyer after the service. And if you're online, and we know some of you are, and want more information, please email us at visitor@uucw.org. There's time for coffee, tea, and conversation for everyone following the service. Find a comfortable place to hang out, here in the sanctuary, in the community room, in the library, and then challenge yourself to talk to someone you've not yet met. Let's build community together. While today is a regular RE Sunday, people of all ages are always welcome in our sanctuary. The worship exploration table, over there, has quiet activity ideas for anyone and of any age who can benefit from keeping their hands busy while still enjoying worship. And for anyone needing or preferring to leave the sanctuary but remain engaged, there are self-guided activities in the community room along with our worship services live stream. Next, I'd like to call your attention to the announcements in your order of service. There are a lot of them today. Please read through them at your convenience. They are all important, but I'd like to highlight just announcement 2 today, which is reminding us that today is the last day to sign up for next Saturday's pledge drive dinner here at UUCW. Please register and make your meal choice through the URL shown. It really is a privilege to have this opportunity to explore and create meaning in the company of others. May this morning's service guide us on the path of truth, generosity, and love.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Jill Braithwaite, and I use she, her pronouns. It is good to gather with you all this morning. To worship means to consider that which has worth. Today, we consider with gratitude the many gifts of this community, the opportunity to be affirmed in who we are and to offer that affirmation to others, the freedom to choose one's own path to truth and to learn from the travelogues of others, the space to expand one's spirit and to reconnect with the sustaining truths of one's life, the regular reminders that we must see our world through the lens of love. Let us welcome all these gifts with gratitude, for they have been paid for with many currencies. The sweat of those who persisted in justice's name against hostility and adversity. The tears of those who struggled to build better lives for all people. The dollars and cents of those who gave what they could and then stretched a little more. The questions of our children as they understand the world anew and offer their understanding to us as a fresh lens. The laughter and joy of those giddy with the embrace of community. Today we consider with gratitude and humility what it means to pay forward that which has been paid forward to us. And now, holding all of this, let us enter into worship with gladness in our hearts. Now I invite us all to rise in body and or spirit, and we'll sing hymn number 1000, Morning Has Come.
Face
I now invite Rob to light our chalice, and I invite us all to read together our chalice lighting words, which are printed in your order of service. As we light this chalice with its freely shared light and freely shared warmth, let us be reminded of the many things that are freely shared with us and that we freely share with others. May we lean into generosity shared from the heart that can warm those around us. We enter now a time for sharing of joys and sorrows that touch our individual lives. One way we express through ritual the many ways we care for one another in this community. In a moment, you'll be invited to come to the mic to share aloud. If you have something you'd rather not share aloud, you can use the QR code on the order of service or the share side of the blue slip that you received. At any time during the week, you can use the link in the e-news to let us know what's on your heart. And what you share today is only for the ears of those gathered here this morning. It will not be in the posted video of the service or shared in our e-news. So now, please come to the mic to speak if you choose to, or raise your hand and an usher will bring a mic to you. And after each sharing, I invite you all to respond with me, "We hold you in love." You can form a line to the side. And I will first light a candle of concern. As on the 23rd of every month, faith communities across the country take a moment to remember people being held in solitary confinement, including the more than 700 people in Wisconsin prisons enduring this torturous form of punishment. We hold you in love. To the folks attending online this morning, we hold you in love as well. And now we place one last candle for those joys and concerns not shared, but held deep in our hearts. We hold you in love. Now let's pause and take a moment to breathe together and hold all that's been shared in our hearts. And now please remain seated and we'll sing together hymn number 1053, "How Could Anyone?"
Anyone ever tell you Fulfilling the Light by Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto. Some people are used to keeping rules, like don't cross the street if the light's red. Sensible. It turns out that keeping rules isn't the same as keeping covenant, which asks us, instead of keeping a bright line, to keep our promises. Well, to what have we promised ourselves? To this moment in time and place, to this community, and even, tenderly interconnected, the planet. We promise ourselves to the idea that we are each and all human beings. We promise that there is something moving between us that we cannot tame and cannot measure. The chalice is a reminder that what flame we keep in our hearts, inside us, cannot light the way. The light must spill to shine. The thing you must be is yourself, unadulterated, shedding the willingness to journey alone, as though you were made of something hard and unforgivable. You are human. You belong right here, right now. And together we will chase away the sickness, the secrets, and leave only the open possibility that the future is a space for growth.
In 2002, which is 23 years ago, I was watching an episode of the TV show ER. Do you remember that show? Anybody remember that show? It was in the second to last season, the episode where Dr. Mark Green was dying. As I recall, he was at a beach house in Hawaii with his wife and his teenage daughter, Rachel, that he had had a bumpy relationship with. And as Rachel was sitting with him near the end of his dying process, he said to her, "Be generous." And it hit me like a ton of bricks. The idea that being generous was at the very heart of life, something a father wanted so much for his daughter, that the advice to be generous was among his last words to her. It made me realize that I was not happy at all with the way that I was approaching generosity in my life. And the moment jump-started for me the development of an intentional relationship with generosity rather than a passive, kind of anxious one. It began a shift towards seeing generosity as a practice that could improve my life by helping me deepen community relationships and align my values and my actions. It was a great invitation. The core part of the word generosity, gen, refers to birth. This root word is also part of the word generative, which means related to or capable of production or reproduction. And generosity, too, is about causing something new to be brought into being. It's easy to think of generosity as an act, and I think our culture pushes us to think of it that way. A transaction, a gift, an hour spent, something purchased, a check written. And oh my goodness, yes, all of these things are very, very often the lived and loving ways that make up the practice of generosity in our lives. But generosity can also be seen as a journey. Journeys are intentional. They take place after reflection and planning, which continue as the journey unfolds. A journey moves us from A to B, then C to D, and places unforeseen. For many of us, thinking about generosity in both giving and receiving can raise fears about the future, fears about possible constraints on us, fears about expectations, bars we might not be able to meet. Using a journey metaphor for generosity helps take us away from a linear and transactional understanding of generosity. Takes us away from the notion that there is only one right way to do it, that there's some bar we cannot meet and will thus fail. If we think of generosity more as a pathway, it becomes more organic and alive and in tune with our heart's hopes, our values, our dreams, our lived lives. A path of generosity might have crossroads, places to rest, parts that are easy, times when you're climbing up a hill. A generosity journey also involves confidence and faith in our ability to take what comes, whatever we encounter, and to work with it, one step at a time as we move along the path. Along the way, we notice our experiences, our feelings, our dreams, and new insights that arise, just like we do on a really great road trip. And we gain clarity about what really matters to us. To me, there is no greater teacher than the natural world for learning about generosity. Nature is filled with reciprocal relationships that run on a constant dynamic of abundance and need. Our ecological systems are incredibly complex and diverse, and nature rewards this diversity and complexity by creating an abundance of nutrients in one species or element that another species needs. And it is only in relationships that the abundance in the system is released. It is only in relationships that abundance is able to generate growth and new life. For example, sunshine is abundant in Earth's ecosystems, right? But its generative power is only unleashed when it combines with air, water, soil, and a plant in the food-producing process that is photosynthesis. For me, this brings to mind the words of the Persian poet Hafiz, quote, "Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, 'You owe me.' Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky." And we human beings, of course, have the capacity to form lasting reciprocal relationships. We continuously share our gifts, and we continuously receive things we need. We cannot access the abundance of resources available to us if we close ourselves off from relationships with others. Relationship-based generosity is transformational. It brings us into connectedness. It chases away isolation. We let ourselves be seen and experienced by others. In community, we are able to spill our light, let it shine, and let it be seen. And when we and our gifts are received, and we also receive the gifts of others, trust grows, respect grows, joy grows, and our spirits grow. Our outlook about the world can shift into one of mutual caring as the way things should be. When we join our generosity journeys together, we join in mutual accountability about our values and our ways of being. Nothing in nature lives only for itself. An ancient Hindu proverb goes, "Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruit. The sun does not shine on itself, and flowers do not spread their fragrance for themselves. Living interdependently is a rule of nature. We are all born to help each other." Close quote. What if we took nature's lead? We might be less afraid of scarcity if we modeled our society on the way that natural systems support and nourish all of their parts, by each one being simply what it is and doing what it does. As human beings, that part of nature possessed of reason and the ability to build and destroy, we have choices. We can live life with fear and self-interest as our driving forces. This is what so much of our culture encourages. We have flamboyant examples of this on display at all times. And this is what our culture sells to us as natural and necessary. Or we can choose to live a life grounded in love, as our mission calls us to do, a life in which security and abundance come from honoring our interdependence, following nature's lead, and practicing generosity in our relationships and our communities. And if we back up far enough in this view, perhaps we might catch a glimpse of the original, extravagantly generous gift of the universe, life itself. That strange, mysterious miracle that we are all here at all, amongst all this abundance. Suffering too, horrors too, to be sure. And yet also, here we are together, alive here on this fine morning. I've been talking with a lot of folks who are newer to UUCW, returning members, people who've never been part of a congregation in their lives, folks who left religion behind and now are seeking something. And there are all kinds of answers to the question, what brought you here? But by far the most common one is, I'm here for community. Which reminds me that a wise person once said that "with" is the most important word in theology. And I love that. That fundamentally, more than anything else, faith means being present with oneself, others, and with the wider world. With points to a commitment to companioning, to mutual responsibility, to a shared journey. We choose community because we choose to be in relationship and presence with one another for the purpose of transforming ourselves and the world. And in much the same way, I think the word "our" is the most important word in our Pledge Drive campaign theme. It's a word so nice we say it thrice in the theme. Our pledge, our community, our future. You'll hear more about this year's Pledge Drive in just a bit. But for now, I want to lift up the way this theme reminds us that we are on a journey of generosity together. We are not alone in this journey. Together, we share our resources when we pledge. Together, we co-create this community. And together, we co-create the future we want. And this leads me to another way we grow in our generosity journey, which is grounding ourselves in gratitude. Many folks I know, including myself, begin or end the day with a meditation on gratitude. Some people list to themselves 5 things from the day that they are grateful for. I start my day with the prayer, "We give thanks for the gift of this day." When we bring to life a strong sense that life itself is a gift, and that we each have received many freely given gifts, It helps us to feel more secure in ourselves and our resources. Grounding in gratitude can help us develop an inner warmth, which in turn opens up that channel in our hearts through which generosity flows. And as I get ready to close, I want to offer a word about the place of generosity in Unitarian Universalist values. In the new Article 2 of the bylaws of our National Association of Congregations, we name 6 core values, with love at the center as the spiritual discipline through which we live out these values. And the 6 values are these. I bet you can guess what one of them is. The 6 values are equity, pluralism, interdependence, justice, transformation, and generosity. And I want to share with you how these national bylaws express our commitment to the value and practice of generosity. It's just a paragraph. Quote, "We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality." Amen. Dear ones, may we open ourselves to the journey of gratitude and generosity in our hearts and in our lives. May the practice of generosity enrich our spirits and deepen our relationships with one another. And may we collectively unleash the power of love in this community to transform ourselves and our world for the better. May it be so, and amen.
For wonderful, inspirational music. So I'm Leslie Peterson. I'm a member of the stewardship team, and my dear friend is Lynn Capitan, who's also a member. We also have Reverend Jackie Ziegler, and we have Kelly Bognar, and we have Vicki Banville, Carol Sewell, and Polly Allison, who is our newest member. And of course, Rev Jill has been a wonderful advisor to our committee as we're moving forward. So our theme, as was mentioned earlier, is our pledge, our community, our future. And today is the official launch of our pledge drive. So we are the church. We are your presence, your talent, your volunteer hours, and your money is what makes UUCW happen.
So this coming week, you'll be receiving a letter in the mail, I believe, that will describe the pledge that you may have given last year, and also invite you to two things. We are asking two things of you. One is to come to our event on Saturday night, March 1st. Just happens to be my birthday, so please come. It's at 5:30 to 7:30. Lasagna dinner. It's going to be wonderful. Great company, great food, things to drink, music. It'll be really fun. If you've never been to a pledge gala before, it really is a great warming way to come together into community. And as Rev Jill mentioned, we need each other's presence to make community. So please come and spill your light into our community on Saturday night. And the second thing we'd like you to do is that when you receive the letter in the mail this coming week, take some time to reflect on your pledge and ask yourself if your values and your capacity is aligned still with what you've pledged in the past, and to think in terms of whether you might be able to stretch this year and give generously. And the reason we ask that is not just because it's not just us asking for more. Sometimes we think that, right? But really, it's that life is asking more. And can you meet that call to more life, more community, in gratitude toward this community and the future that we're building together?
And I just want to mention that I forgot another valuable member of our team, Jeannie Baker, who's been on for a long time. So sorry, Jeannie, about that. And there's one more thing, and that is if you get your pledge commitment in by Saturday evening, March 1st, we're going to do a drawing on Sunday morning, and there will be 5 wonderful prizes drawn from those folks who've given their pledge by Saturday night. So another incentive to do this early. Our goal is to complete the pledge drive by March 31st. So we're looking for fairly quick action so we can begin to move forward on our plans for the new fiscal year. Thank you so much for your generosity and for your time.
Thank you.
I guess I could sit down, actually. Each month, we dedicate half of all undesignated offerings to a local nonprofit organization that addresses human needs and advances social justice within our community. Our Split the Plate partner for February is Hope Center, a nonprofit reducing poverty in Waukesha County by providing financial aid, food, and clothing. At any given time, some 20,000 people in this affluent area are living at or near the poverty line. Hope's purpose is to offer immediate assistance while looking for ways to help people find a path to a new, stable future. For more than 30 years, the Hope Center of Waukesha has been a beacon of hope for people in Waukesha County who may need help with anything from a hot lunch to a housing referral. One reason for Hope's longevity is a meticulous record-keeping of the way in which their services are provided and their resources maintained. Respect and support from volunteers, businesses, local government, and private donations flow through their committed small staff to meet the demands of the community with precision and a smile. Their mission is a model of clarity, reducing the risks of poverty by helping people in Waukesha County meet basic needs. Hope is a nonprofit organization that Split the Plate and UUCW are proud to count among our partners. To support Hope Center, place your donation in the offering basket. Or you can go to the UUCW website's Donate tab and select Split the Plate, or you can text or mail your donation using the information found on the screen. We thank you most sincerely for your support, and we will now gratefully receive your offering.
Now let us speak together our words for dedicating our offering. They are printed in your order of service. To the work of this community, which is to ground ourselves in love and joy and to act for inclusion and justice, we dedicate ourselves and these our offerings. Now please rise in body and or spirit, and we'll sing together hymn number 1028, The Fire of Commitment.
And our
Within each of our hearts there is a most glorious light. Go forth and bring its ray of hope to those in need of hope, that they may find healing. Go forth and fan the flames of passion to help heal our world. Go forth and spread the warm glow of love, pushing back the shadows of this world. Go forth, beloveds, and share your glorious light with the world. Blessed be, and amen.